Data science, artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, ML are the hot topics. एंड आजकल के ज़माने में अगर ये सारे सब्जेक्ट्स आपको आते हैं देन देयर इज़ अ हाई चांस दैट यू विल क्रैक अ गुड जॉब विथ अ वेरी हाई पैकेज. तो आज मैं एक पॉडकास्ट स्टार्ट करने वाला हूँ जहाँ पे आई विल बी इन्वाइटिंग अ डेटा साइंटिस्ट who will share with you the experience of his journey as a data science engineer, AI engineer, and he will also share how to study for data science interviews and what are the important topics you should focus on. So let's start. Welcome to my channel AD Academy. My name is Dr. Ayan Devnath. Without any further ado, let's start with the podcast session.
Warm wishes to Dibya Kanti Halder. तो वेलकम टू माय चैनल एडी एकेडमी. तो आज हम लोग जो मेनली डिस्कस करने वाले हैं सो दैट इज अबाउट जितने भी सारे डेटा साइंटिस्ट है और एआई इंजीनियर्स है और मे बी जो स्टूडेंट्स है नहीं तो कोई डेटा साइंस एस्पिरेंट्स है जो प्रोफेशनल्स है तो हाउ दे विल स्टडी व्हाट आर द इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक्स और कौन कौन से टॉपिक के ऊपर ज्यादा ध्यान देना है टू गो फॉर एन इंटरव्यू सो दैट दे कैन लाइक गेट अ गुड कंपनी विथ अ वेरी हाई पैकेज. ओके, तो इसके ऊपर आज हम लोग बात करेंगे. बट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द सेशन टू सेट द ऑनसेट लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस यू दिव्या कांति हालदर. दिव्या कांति हालदर was our AI engineer in Bobble.AI and I have met him in that organization. We have worked together and we work on different projects very closely. तो मुझे पता है मतलब दिव्या कितना पैशनेट है about his subjects to learn to do research about data science, AI, ML, and masters from ISM Dhanbad. And currently, he is doing PhD from IIT Kharagpur on Bioinformatics and AI, ML. So,
thank you, Ayan, for the warm introduction. Ayan himself is a very good friend and a very good data scientist. And you know him because you watch his channel, so I'm very comfortable with him. Yeah.
So let me ask you my first question. So what is your experience as a data scientist?
As a data scientist, it has been a journey of ups and downs, frankly speaking. There are many times when you might get stuck, right? And then you will have to study more. You have to research more, and then at one time you will find that you can overcome that stuck area and you can get a good accuracy, and at that time you will feel the happiness, which is very unique kind of happiness when you overcome the places where you get stuck. So recently in my PhD work only, I was working on graph neural networks. I am not divulging the details here, but initially I was getting a very poor accuracy in my model, like around 70%. Then I observed that there is some mistakes, a small mistake in the entire code, just one mistake. Then when I fixed that one, then the accuracy jumped to 92%. Means it was a very big jump. So when you come across these kind of stumblings and then you can overcome that, and that is a great satisfaction.
Right.
So this is the life of a data scientist. There will be ups, there will be downs, but you have to overcome the downs and then you will be good to go.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Yeah. And what is the life cycle of a data science project?
The life cycle, it can vary to project to project. Generally, when we start with the dummy problems or the simple problems, you'll feel that you can complete a project within a week or something, right? And then when you move on from the dummy projects to the real world projects, that is when it starts getting challenging, because for the real world projects, many times the proper data sets are not available. You have to curate your own data sets. You have to manually curate the features, and then you have to apply some architecture, deep learning or machine learning architecture. So the entire process, and then you have validation of your accuracy and you validation of, and then you have to apply it on your real world test case. So it takes time when you work on real world data sets or real world problems.
राइट। अच्छा ठीक है।
Yeah.
और एक चीज पूछना था, मतलब जब कोई स्टूडेंट अभी डेटा साइंस प्रिपेयर कर रहे फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक, और नहीं तो कोई एडवांस्ड प्रोफेशनल्स है जो ऑलरेडी डेटा साइंस प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर काम कर चुके हैं, बट दे आर गोइंग फॉर एन इंटरव्यू, तो उसके पहले जब प्रिपरेशन लेंगे, देन व्हाट आर द मेन टॉपिक्स जिसके ऊपर उन लोगों को थोड़ा ध्यान देना है, स्पेशली इन से, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स से इन स्टैटिस्टिक्स, तो स्टैटिस्टिक्स वेरी फंडामेंटल थिंग।
Yeah, in statistics, first thing is that covariance correlation, they must have the basic idea of that. There are regression algorithms, linear and polynomial. Okay, and then uh, you should know the basics of probability, that is also Bayes theorem. Based on Bayes theorem, we have machine learning models like Naive Bayes and Bayesian network. Also, you should know the different clustering algorithms. Okay, hierarchical clustering, k-means clustering, and k-nearest neighbors. Okay, and then there are the you want to compare two distributions. You use uh, scale divergence, and then you want to check the validity of your results. You want to use p-value for that. So there are lots of different tools and techniques in statistics that will need to be applied in data science.
ओके। अगर किसी को सपोज कोई परफॉर्मेंस वैलिडेशन करना है, राइट, से अपार्ट फ्रॉम एक्यूरेसी, सेंसिटिविटी, स्पेसिफिसिटी, तो ये सब के ऊपर व्हाट इज योर टेक, लाइक व्हाट दे शुड लर्न?
Yes, for doing analysis of their performance, they must have a basic knowledge of t-test, p-values, scale divergence, and these kind of things. Okay, and also they want to check the sometimes they want to check the correlation of their features. Yeah, mutual correlation of the features. Then they will need to know the correlations. They want to do dimensionality reduction, then they
Yeah.
will need to know PCA and other algorithms around that.
Okay.
So it is a vast field and many techniques are there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. एंड कमिंग टू मशीन लर्निंग, मतलब मशीन लर्निंग में तो बहुत सारे एल्गोरिदम्स होते हैं, तो कौन से एल्गोरिदम ज्यादा यूज होता है इन केस ऑफ इंडस्ट्री, रियल लाइफ इंडस्ट्री में हम लोग कौन सा एल्गोरिदम को ज्यादा प्रेफर करते हैं, ज्यादा यूज करते हैं?
Yeah, in real life, most popular is ANNs, artificial neural network. But also reinforcement learning is very much useful when uh, you want to test in a simulated environment. Okay, like suppose in gameplay, you want to improve the results in a game. Like, okay, so you will want to simulate it in a virtual environment and do lots of reinforcement on that, and then you can get a good amount, means desired result in that. So apart from ANNs and reinforcement learning, there are tree-based algorithms, decision trees, and random forests. Okay, these algorithms are very fundamental algorithms, and they are asked in the data science interviews.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I face the same thing. Even like I have been asked about random forest, और मैं जब कोई इंटरव्यू लेता हूँ तो मैं भी पूछता हूँ डेटा साइंस इंटरव्यूज में, like random are very fundamental, as you rightly said. They should know at least these algorithms.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. और थोड़ा implementation practice करने के लिए, like what they should do, like is there any
Another thing, the algorithms they should know are the uh, algorithms like gradient descent, ADA-grad, means through which the convergence algorithms, through which their machine learning models will learn. And they should also know the loss functions. Okay, so loss functions are based on errors like categorical cross entropy error or the mean squared error. They should know these also. Yes.
Good point, good point. Like different kind of optimizers, ADA optimizer,
Different kind
ADA
of
grad, ADA.
optimizers, Adam, ADA-grad.
Right, right. क्योंकि हम लोग देखे हैं, like whenever we have trained our model, तो जैसे आपने बताया अभी जे एडम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑप्टिमाइजर, तो अगर एडम ऑप्टिमाइजर हम लोग अगर यूज करेंगे तो क्या बेनिफिट हो सकता है इन रियल लाइफ में, लाइक विथ एंड विदाउट ऑप्टिमाइजर? तो व्हाट इज योर
Okay.
टेक ऑन दिस?
Generally, uh, gradient descent is a very useful algorithm, and it it works on multi-dimensional space, right? Multi-dimensional uh, loss space, right? So in that multi-dimensional loss space, there are many difficult scenarios, like there are local minimas, saddle points, and these kind of uh, uh, pseudo-optimal points, okay, which are not global optimas. So the gradient descent might get stuck in these pseudo-optimal points, like the uh, saddle points or the um, local minimas. So in order to push it further, we can use the weights and biases of the earlier step. Okay. So if the earlier steps are going in a general direction, we want to follow that momentum.
राइट.
So momentum helps us to uh, go beyond a local minima, and can move and help the algorithm to move forward from the local minima. Even if the loss increases for a while, ultimately it helps us to reach the global minima,
राइट.
or better, or if not global minima, then better local minimas, which
ओके.
is usually there.
ओके, सो इट मतलब, तो आपका मतलब है अगर हम लोग ऑप्टिमाइजर ना यूज करेंगे तो व्हाट एवर एक्यूरेसी वी विल बी गेटिंग, सो दैट माइट नॉट बी द राइट वन. मतलब अगर ऑप्टिमाइजर यूज करेंगे तो देन वी कैन ट्यून आवर मॉडल एंड मॉडल कैन लर्न वेल, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली द एरर इज लेस एज इट इज हिटिंग द ग्लोबल
Usually,
मिनिमम.
gradient descent can also reach the same accuracies, but it takes time. And uh, using Adam and Adagrad momentum-based optimizers, uh, what happens that due to the momentum, there is sometimes speed up is achieved in reducing the loss. Okay,
राइट. राइट.
so like when you are driving a bike in a road, and you know that you have to go straight, then you can speed up, right? And yes, and then when you know that there is a curve, then you'll slow down, so you'll follow the momentum. But
या.
otherwise, you're in a bicycle, you have to continuously pedal, right? So it does not matter whether there is a curve or there is a means straight ahead. You cannot speed up more than your pedaling speed. So so that is the problem without momentum. That is, you have to go at a constant rate, and then when you have the momentum, you can sometimes speed up and sometimes slow down according to the momentum.
Yeah, right, Dipul. Like ये example बहुत ही अच्छा है. I think like for the audience it will be very helpful to relate actually to the real life example. ओके. तो हाँ, तो मेरा और एक क्वेश्चन है, अगर कोई पढ़ना चाहता है लाइक से इन मशीन लर्निंग एंड एडवांस टॉपिक ऑफ द डीप लर्निंग, तो कौन कौन सा टॉपिक उनको थोड़ा मतलब ज्यादा ध्यान में रख के पढ़ना है बिफोर गोइंग फॉर एन इंटरव्यू?
You can start with CNNs, because CNNs is the least complicated of all the other architectures, and then they can follow it up with RNNs like LSTMs and GRUs. And these days, LSTMs and GRUs are less in use, because they suffer from vanishing and exploding gradients when the uh, number of steps is time steps is too high. Okay, so it cannot handle means greater than 200, suppose, time steps. So for that, a new architecture is in town, the attention mechanism,
या.
where you can combine the attention with dense layers. If you can combine it with convolution layers, and then you can uh, attention actually helps you pay attention to some of the previous weights. Okay, so it is a very useful algorithm. So ChatGPT and these large language models are also based on a variation of attention called multi-head attention.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
they are based on the transformer architecture, which is basically multi-head attention. So it is a very interesting algorithm, and there are many points which is not possible to cover in a short interview, but it is a very interesting algorithm. And besides that, there are graph-based algorithms also, like graph neural networks, graph convolutional
Mm-hmm.
layers. So whatever you can do in normal uh, architectures like dense layers and convolution layers and attention layers, same thing
Mm-hmm.
you can do in a graph setting also. Okay, so so there are variety of algorithms, and there are generative algorithms also, like generative adversarial networks GANs and
Right.
variational encoders. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these are very interesting concepts. In generative neural networks, you can generate something like a new image or a new song based on the samples you have seen earlier, but it will not be exactly the same as you have seen earlier. It will be slightly different. Okay, this is how the chat GPT can answer your questions. So it has seen many answers similar, relevant to the topic that you have asked for, and then it will try to combine those answers in a way that it feels that is best answers your prompt or best answers your query.
ओके, तो
So
प्रॉम्प्ट से मुझे एक चीज याद आया, मतलब राइट नाउ लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल आर गोइंग टुवर्ड्स प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग। तो
yes,
ये प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग टॉपिक कितना प्रोस्पेक्टफुल है?
yes, prompt engineering is for non-data scientists. It is useful for people who have no such background in data science or that, but it is still useful because many organizations want people to solve the tasks quickly, right? And they
हम्म
don't have the budget to hire data science people.
हम्म
Okay, so they
हम्म
want quick jobs without having a lot of budget. So they
हम्म
can use these chat-based large language models, and say they need people who can put useful prompts that can enable these large language models to answer properly. So that is why prompt engineers are involved nowadays, because many small companies would want to work
हम्म
with a low,
हम्म
yeah, not a very high budget.
Okay, but there is prospects like nowadays, like who are
Yeah,
non-data
there is
science.
prospect, but the bigger companies uh, s- want data scientists only, because
Hmm.
these large language models are still not up to, I would not say up to the mark, but they are, you cannot totally depend on them. They're not that much robust. So I myself have tried some prompts, like to ask uh, schedule for the daily schedule, or I
Mm-hmm.
have asked it for a very simple code. Okay, even in those simple codes or in simple things, it makes very small mistakes, which will be difficult to understand for an amateur. But the person who knows the subject will find out the errors. So if you are not a coder, you cannot correct the coding solutions provided by ChatGPT and all that. But similarly, if you are not a data scientist, then you will not be able to correct the answers provided by these LLMs, right?
Hmm.
Regarding the data science
Okay, okay, fine,
prompt.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Thanks, thanks.
so the companies need to hire data scientists, because they cannot rely on these large language models properly. Yeah.
Right, right. Thanks, Dibya. Like I
Mm.
think like these informations will be very helpful for lots of students and the professionals. And और एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, अगर कोई डेटा साइंस इंटरव्यू मतलब कोई डेटा साइंस इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है, देन व्हाट आर द बेसिक स्टेप्स, मतलब कोडिंग स्टेप्स, कोडिंग होता है, दे
So
क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं नहीं, और
the first round is usually theoretical questions. So in the theoretical questions, they will ask you like linear regression, support vector machines, PCA. Okay, and they will try to judge whether you know the fundamentals. Okay,
Hmm,
so once they are confirmed that you know the fundamentals, then there will be coding round. In the coding round, they might ask you to make a decision tree in Python from scratch, or they might ask you to write backpropagation for artificial neural networks. So these kind of coding questions also come, or they can ask you to formulate a plan or a strategy for a data science problem. Okay,
Okay.
they might ask you that. Yeah.
ओके ओके फाइन एंड मतलब कोई प्रोजेक्ट और मतलब हैंड्स ऑन किसी को अगर करना है देन व्हाट लाइक प्लेटफॉर्म यू सजेस्ट इज गुड
Um, for hands-on projects, the things that work most comfortably with for me are Linux, Python, and I would say Keras. Okay, so Linux I use because the data science packages can be very easily installed. Okay, and then I use Python because obvious reasons. It is very user friendly, and this it is like natural language. Coding in Python is like coding in natural language, means as close as possible to natural language, and it is open source, so you don't have to buy licenses like MATLAB and all that. So that is another advantage of Python. And then Keras is that Keras is also useful. Keras and PyTorch can both be used, but I have found Keras to be easier than PyTorch. But it has some dependencies that installation dependencies are more a bit challenging in Keras. In PyTorch, it can be easily installed, but the coding is easier in Keras than PyTorch, according to me.
Right. Okay. 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 Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Vipru, for giving your valuable time and your insight.
Yes.
I think this will be very helpful for lots of students and like data science aspirants. So we will end this session, but before that, I will like to tell my audience that Dibya Kanti Halder also have a YouTube channel, like where he is teaching lots of AI ML stuff. So it will be better like if you
We are a group of 3 people. We are all from IIT Kharagpur. Our channel name is Applied AI Playground.
okay,
Like and
nice.
subscribe, and
Yeah.
also like and subscribe to Bioinformatics. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot for giving me all of your time. So maybe in future we can do lots of other collaborations where you can teach some subjects coming to my channel and maybe vice versa. So
Okay.
like
Yeah, I'll be glad.
yeah,
Yeah.
stay tuned. We will be coming shortly with other sets of different like podcasts. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you.
Yeah.